Hi, today we're looking at photographing foxes. I'm in Essex. I'm at the Fox Hide Experience. I'll put the website in the description. There's a whole series of hides here. We're going to start off the first session photographing in that direction, and there's a number of hides. You've got a choice. You can be shooting at sitting level or normal level, or the very end hide of this series is a lie down hide. And then later on we'll swap over and some more hides further down this track where we'll be photographing more with the sun behind us. But I'm expecting a lot of foxes to come in. There's around 8, 9, 10 foxes coming in currently, and the photography should be very successful. As you can see, the hides are very simple. They're just made up of pallets. There's no proper door on the back. You just pull down this cover behind you, but the foxes are very accustomed to people here, and you can see at times there's large numbers of visitors come to see these foxes. Once you're settled into the hide, it's not a question of waiting for the foxes to appear. They are already there, queuing up at the far end of the field, waiting for the food to appear. And once it does, they come forward very quickly. They've been fed in this same field for the last 20 years, so they're very used to this. Generation after generation of red foxes. The grass is cut to allow the foxes to be both viewed and photographed, and there's a number of vixens amongst them. You can see the teats of this fox are well extended. This is during the month of April, so she's now got well developed young back at her den somewhere, and in a few weeks they'll be coming out into this field to be fed along with the parents. But in one evening there could be 8, 9, 10 different individual foxes coming to this spot. All of the video is taken with the Panasonic G9 with the 100 to 400 zoom. You can't really zoom with that lens, it's not a smooth zoom, but you can keep changing the focal length, but you have to cut the bit out where you're zooming because it's very rough. But the foxes are at a wide range of distances from you, coming very close to right at the back of the field, so it's very useful to have a zoom on. And I like to use the Panasonic G9 rather than my Olympus because the G9 will autofocus better in video mode. Although for stills pictures I think the Olympus has got the superior autofocus, but it's pretty hopeless in video mode. The most foxes I saw at one point was 3, and I can't tell them apart, but I'm told there was a lot more than that coming in. When I was taking stills pictures, I was using the Olympus M1X with a 300mm f4 lens. There's 2 main sets of hides, and the first set we were in, the lighting was rather from the side. Now on an overcast day that wouldn't really matter, but this was a very sunny day. It'd been blue sky from morning to dusk. So the lighting was actually better in the second hide, where it was more behind you. So we'll just look at a few stills pictures I took from the first hide. Shutter speeds almost don't matter when you're doing something like a fox. It's not moving around much. 500th of a second doesn't really matter. You can go up to 4,000ths of a second. You won't see much difference between your pictures. And with the Olympus Micro Four Thirds system you get twice as much depth of field as you would with a full chip camera. So the depth of field is not that critical either. It's just the direction of the light. You're only getting the side of the fox's head on the left as we're looking at the fox. So you're just looking for those best poses and leave the camera very much on automatic mode. Let it take care of the focus and exposure for you. There is also a lie down hide, so it's a lower level, so I'm going to try that. Only for the last 10 minutes or so before we move on to a second series of hides. and just 4 pictures taken from the lower angle. Most photographers like to do things from the ground level, always makes the subject look more dramatic and separates it from the background a bit too. So now I've moved to another set of hides looking in a different angle, because as the sun's setting it's coming round behind this hide. We had a bit of side lighting in the previous one. On an overcast day wouldn't make any difference, but it's been a pure blue sky day today, very sunny. So at this stage David leaves you to it, he goes home and you can stay as long as you like. Just close the gate when you leave. But it's a wonderful spectacle. Never seen this many foxes in one spot before. He reckons they've got 8 or 9 coming in at the moment. It looks quite nice coming up this path now. Whereas at the first hide food is being thrown to the foxes, at the second series of hides it's been hidden away. And there's a number of holes which have been dug and the food is put out of sight down the holes. I often find it very difficult shooting video and stills pictures at the same time, but I was managing to do that here. There's plenty of time, the foxes are hanging around for several hours, so I did end up with thousands of stills pictures as well as the video footage. But I'm very quick at editing. I use Breeze browser to edit my pictures and I can get through 1,000 pictures very quickly and whittle it down to the best 20 or 30. So now I'll show you the best dozen pictures from the second set of hides. Thanks for watching.